Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3 of the Turbocast for the 20th of February 2009. My name is Simon and I'm joined as usual by Dr. Brownhill. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Simon.
How are you?
Wonderfully well, thank you.
Good. We've got a very special episode of the Turbocast tonight, as this is our first attempt at a geographically distributed recording. Dr. Brownhill is in the studio at Turbocast HQ in England, while, for the first time in Turbocast history, I'm in the Turbocast European production facilities in Brussels. So, bonsoir et bienvenue, j'espère que vous appréciez le podcast. As ever, the show is what you make it, so please send your questions, comments and feedback to turbocast@live.co.uk. Also, it really helps if you would leave us an iTunes review. Following my appeal for iTunes reviews in the last episode, we've had a very impressive 0 reviews, so I'd like to thank everyone for that fantastic effort. So, as usual, we're going to kick it off with digestion news. Over to you, Doctor. Anything to report?
Yes, there was one rather special incident. It followed an evening out with a friend of mine, Graham. Hi, Graham. I'm sure you're listening. We'd been out to see the Smythes, a wonderful Smiths tribute band.
Yeah, just as an aside, I think the whole key to the tribute band scene is making up the clever punning name.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, bootleg Beatles, counterfeit Stones, all that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, they were fabulous. We had a few beers, obviously. And on the way home, we needed something hot and greasy.
Can I just be a prick and interrupt again?
Go for it.
How was the guitarist in the Smiths cover band? Because Johnny Marr's got a pretty fucking fierce right hand, and I don't think...
I can tell you what, mate. I've seen them both in the flesh.
Yeah.
He's absolutely superb.
The fake Johnny Marr?
Yeah.
All right, impressive.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Really into the music,
Yeah.
I was going to say something obscene then, but...
So I always felt you could never do an R.E.M. cover band because Peter Buck's got the best right hand in the business.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for that intrusion. Carry on with your hot grease.
So, Graham's a big fan of kebabs. Me, not so much. Anyway, we
You've eaten plenty of the fuckers for somebody who's not a fan.
Well, not really, no.
No? You've never been a kebab man?
Well, I tend to sort of... When I get fast food, I tend to get a kebab, as like a side dish rather than the main dish.
All right.
So I'll maybe just get a giant pizza and a kebab. And
an amuse-bouche.
And some chicken and chips, so it's one of, it's not the main item. So anyway, we went to Siciliano's. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mm-hmm. And I ordered first. I think it was a 12-inch Inferno pizza.
Very, very good base layer for the meal.
Yeah, and I think it was a mixed kebab that I got, which is the large one with all the various meat trimmings, they're from what have you.
Yeah. Sheep's eyelids.
Yeah. And I think at this point, Graham came up with the counter. He said, I'll have the same, which I was quite shocked about because I'm a right greedy bastard. Graham's a little less so I was quite shocked because that's a lot of food.
You felt he was punching a little bit above his weight.
Yeah. Anyway, he didn't actually want the same as me. He'd only heard me ordering the pizza and not the kebab. So he, I think they'd already started making, and I said, while I was saying to him, bloody hell, that's a lot for you. And he said, what do you mean? It's only a pizza. I said, oh, what about the kebab? And, then he said to them, oh, I'm really sorry.
Uh-huh.
I've ordered far too much, I only want the pizza. I don't know whether that was connected with what followed. So I get my pizza and kebab. Graham gets his pizza, and he was staying at my place. We got back and started wolfing this food into us, and
squatting on the living room floor.
yeah, pretty much. And I got a really strong burning sensation in my mouth. It probably would have been a lot worse if I hadn't had the beer.
Yeah.
And then we looked at each other and we said, "Goodness, pizza's rather hot." It was like it had jalapenos on it, which are now,
Yeah.
I can eat buckets of them, but it had the special chili sauce layer.
Can I just say for the benefits of the listeners that Dr. Brown Ale is no slouch when it comes to eating spicy food, so if this pizza troubled him, then it was something very special indeed.
Anyway, so we started to slow down, and I think I maybe he's got through half the pizza. I think Graham may have had a little bit more, but it was the hotness made it unpleasant. And as I say, I don't know whether that was because Graham pissed them off.
Yeah, they did the sabotage.
Or whether their infernos are always that hot.
Well, I think if you're in the business of serving pizzas and kebabs at 11 o'clock at night, your constituency is drunken, fucked up people who are going to make mistakes. That just goes with the territory.
Yeah, I mean, no, we weren't, being loud or obnoxious or anything, we weren't, totally pissed. So anyway, Graham was staying at mine, and when I woke up, I felt very strange inside. And I did notice that I kept hearing the toilet door going. Frequent visits, and he wasn't right at all.
No.
And I just had I don't know how much I want to describe.
Go. Let's have it. Let's have the details. That's why people download this podcast.
Well, diarrhea.
Yeah.
Scalding diarrhea. Lava, dripping out me hoop, but not just that. Like I felt like something like wrong had gone through me, something very bad, and I just wasn't right inside. Well, certainly for that day. Having said that, I did revisit the pizza and kebab and tried to finish it for my lunch.
Next morning?
Yeah, the next day.
Fantastic work.
So I had that feeling all over again.
How far did you get through it on the second innings?
I think I ate all the topping.
Yeah.
Off the remaining bit, and I licked some of the super hot chili sauce. I don't think Graham actually knows that I did this. And I finished the kebab, but there wasn't much left of the pizza because it upset me a bit that I couldn't tackle it on the night. So I had a good go, and I had bad guts again that night and the following morning. So yeah, it was quite intense.
Fantastic.
But the next time you're in town, I think we should order up a couple of Infernos and just see what we get.
Yeah, we will. I think you have had the Infernos from there before, haven't you?
Well, that's generally what I get. I get Infernos from whichever place I go, and obviously it means slightly different things in different shops. But I don't think I've ever had a pizza I couldn't eat for that reason. So
yeah, because the thing about chili peppers is the active ingredient is soluble in fat, and there's a lot of fat in a pizza. So I think there's a an upper boundary as to how spicy you can make a pizza for that reason. But Sicilianos appear to have transcended the laws of chemistry.
Yeah. Well,
So let's check it out next time we're together.
yeah.
So I've got a little bit of an episode as well. I'm actually on my own this week, and my wife has gone to England, and I dropped her at the train station the other morning, and it was quite early. And I came back, and I wanted to go back to sleep, but I was hungry. And I was thinking to myself, I'm a single man for the next couple of days. I'm going to live the life I deserve. I'm going to have fucking curry for breakfast. So I went in the fridge and I selected a product called a Heritage Select Chicken Jalfrezi with basmati rice. And it's just one of these ones in a plastic tray you microwave. So I stuck it in and I gave it 4 minutes. And I accompanied this with a bottle of Campina Frescio Fraise, which is a strawberry flavoured drinking yogurt, 3/4 of a litre size, 750 millilitres. So I ate all this at about, I would say, 10 to 8 in the morning. Then I went back to bed, and I probably slept for about an hour till the dogs woke me up. And when I woke up, the pain was just indescribable. It was indigestion and a bloated feeling, but for the first time ever, I had vertical pains, as if there was 5 or 6 blades pressing into my abdomen very hard, and I would say it took a good 6 or 7 hours to dissipate. I had a couple of cups of green tea, which generally breaks things down, but there was no shifting this, so I think it was a infernal reaction between the thick, rich yogurt drink and the chicken jalfrezi.
So what came out of your body then? Was that? Did it have an effect, or was it just the pain?
Not particularly. It was one of those where everything shuts down for a couple of days. Then
you get a stopper.
Yeah, a pace car, and then a normal crapper peas, and it smells very, very bad.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, the worst thing is, I'm on my own for another couple of days. I've got another 2 of the bastards in the fridge.
You've got to have exactly the same thing again, haven't you? And just see what happens.
Just in the interests of science.
Well, yeah, I mean, you might have had a bug. It might have just been a coincidence.
All right, I will actually photograph both products and put them on the website. But in the interests of science, I might have that for breakfast again tomorrow, and we'll. If you don't hear from me, what's happened?
Yeah.
So, I think that's pretty much it for me on the digestion front. I've been eating a primitive hunter-gatherer subsistent existence because I haven't been travelling and I'm here on my own.
I did just a quick one. Remember the champagne and Monster Munch experiment?
Absolutely.
I have had a skin shedding this week.
I don't think we've ever talked about it, so I might have to describe what this is.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
It's Dr. Brownell's contention that if you eat 2 bags of family-sized bags, was it?
Yeah, I think the 85-gram bags.
Yeah, if you eat 2 large bags of salt and vinegar Monster Munch,
pickled onion.
Sorry, pickled onion. My mistake. It removes the
and a full bottle of champagne.
Or do you need the champagne for the effect, or can you get it with just the Monster Munch?
The tests were inconclusive.
Right. So the contention is that Monster Munch, possibly with champagne as a catalyst, will remove the skin from the inside of your mouth, very much like a snake shedding its skin when it grows larger.
I think it kills a layer.
Yeah.
And then the next day it all just drops off.
I'd like to get a pH test on a pickled onion Monster Munch because I think it's pretty fucking acidic.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pain associated with it. Just you keep getting big bits of skin, dropping off into your mouth, and
we did actually try to do a control test for this with 2 test subjects. I couldn't finish my 2 bags of Monster Munch just because they're so horrible. And what did Mark do? Could he finish his bags? I can't remember.
I think, I think he ate them both.
Yeah,
no problem. He's an animal.
He ate them both and reported no ill effect, so the theory now is that champagne is the key catalyst when eating Monster Munch.
I think that's what it is. I think, I'd love somebody else to have a go and have all the skin drop off the mouth and let us know. That would be great.
So if any listener would like to... We think it's 2 bags you need.
Two bags pickled onion. It's the new old ones, if that makes sense. Big bags pickled onion. I think they're wonderful.
I think they're horrible. But if anybody would like to repeat the experiment...
And a bottle of champagne.
Yeah,
ice cold.
Any brand of champagne, I think.
Yeah.
And if you experience the buccal dermal abrasion, then please drop us an email and let us know, hopefully with a photograph of the inside of your mouth.
I should really take it. I think the skin's still falling off the inside of my mouth, so I might try and take a photo of it, and you can put it on the, stick it wherever you do.
All right, cool. Let's do it. So, very, very action-packed episode of Digestion News there. We're now going to move it on to Bullshit or Not, which is news stories analysed to see if we believe them or not. So I'm going to start with the first story, which is entitled Bananas for Sex Cult Leader on the Run. Papua New Guinea police are hunting for the leader of a sex cult that promises villagers a bumper banana harvest if they engage in public sex. The alert was raised after a villager from Yamina in Morobe province walked 12 hours to the nearest town to report the cult's activities. He told police the cult's leader and his followers have been using threats of violence to force people to have sex in public for the past 4 months. The Post-Courier reports villagers had been promised their banana harvest would increase every time they fornicated publicly. 3 police officers trekked to the village over the weekend, but the leader, identified as Thomas Pelly, was able to escape into the bush. Police reinforcements are being sent to the area. So my initial take on this is 100% bullshit from start to finish.
I don't know. I know. Well, I suppose you'd have to say why.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Unless they've got a sense of humour, but it's not something you would associate with cults, really.
No, because the cult is all usually give me your money and I'll make your banana crop better.
Yeah. I do like the fact that it's sex related and there's bananas and bush in the text there. So, it's lowest common denominator for me. I'm easily pleased.
Well, there's a couple of things that drive my bullshit meter twitching. Number one, you've got one guy trekking through the jungle. And it's just his story after he's walked for 3 days wearing a banana leaf to tell them about this. So he could just be a random loony. And the second thing is, Papua New Guinea is absolutely fucking riven with crime, and the police have pretty much lost control. I don't think they're going to spend 3 days walking into the jungle to investigate spurious claims of a banana sex cult.
Yeah. I would have to say I would probably go with you on that one.
So I think that's a double bullshit on the banana sex cult.
Yeah. Banana bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. Next story. China covers suicide bridge in butter. Safety marginally improved. Government officials in Guangzhou have ordered a 1,000-foot-long steel bridge to be covered in greasy fat to prevent people from climbing on the structure. The bridge has a history of attracting jumpers that often attempt to gain media coverage or draw attention to personal problems. Government spokesman Shui Liang said they've tried employing guards at both ends of the bridge and went as far as installing special fences with notices asking people not to commit suicide, because that'd stop you. Oh, fucking hell, there's a sign there, we can't do it. Every new attempt, successful or not, means several hours of backed-up traffic and a wave of complaints from local residents. The butter, however, has seen positive results. Bridge guard Wong Man stated, "Since we put up the butter, there have been no problems with these attention seekers."
I'm still thinking about the sign. I'm just wondering what the wording was. Please commit suicide elsewhere. or don't do it at all, or please don't commit suicide on this bridge,
Yeah, because if you've come to the place where you're going to take your own life, you've stepped outside all societal norms anyway. A sign's not going to slow you down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think it's now established Turbocast protocol that we believe literally anything can happen in China.
Yeah. I mean, butter, greasy fat.
This could also be a story that's suffered in the translation from the Chinese. There is that possibility.
Yeah, I mean, what originally I thought what they'd done was, a lot of these people that go on, they don't actually top themselves? Is that what they're saying? They don't.
Yeah, there's maybe somebody who feels he's had a raw deal from his credit card company, so he'll go and stand on this bridge, pretend he's going to jump till the newspaper comes and hears his story. Maybe that's what's going on.
When I read this, at first I thought what they'd done is they'd put all this grease on, so if you went up there, you're more likely to fall off. So I thought it was done to dissuade people because
you can't fake a suicide.
Yeah, because if you get up there, you're likely you're going to fall off and die. So it would stop the fakers. That's what I thought it was.
And also, you're increasing throughput because they get up there and they slip off and it's done and the traffic's moving again. So you could be right there.
So that's honestly what I thought it was. It was you can't just cling on for a bit and have your 5 minutes. Chances are you'll slide off and.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to cling on waiting for the Chinese equivalent of Look North to arrive. You're off.
Drop off the buttery twig.
Awesome. So I think I tend to believe that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, not bullshit. Well done, China. Next story. Repentant man breeds 4,600 scorpions. So I think this is a bit of a specialty subject for you. I feel you have a much stronger grasp on zoology than me, so I'll be interested to see your thoughts on this. A Thai man is keeping more than 4,600 scorpions as pets to atone for the years he spent cooking the arachnids to sell as snacks. But after years of serving up scorpions, Swang Puang Sri, a practicing Buddhist, felt it was time to befriend them instead. Although I was happy to have the money, I felt suffering deep inside as they were being harmed by me. I felt scared that I was committing a sin. The 38-year-old has given up the bottom floor of his 2-story home to the scorpions, who scuttle about in a 6-metre by 5-metre enclosure decorated with branches and stone. Swang buys up to 1 kg of live cicadas and other insects daily to feed to his pets, who have stung him so many times that he feels he is immune to their venom. He also spends at least an hour every day meditating inside the enclosure, often placing scorpions in his mouth. Suang is so determined to atone for his past sins that he even buys scorpions from other people who want to sell them to restaurants. When the arachnids become too many, he and his son release a few hundred back into the forest. So what do you make of that?
I don't know. There's a few things wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'd say is I've been to Thailand and never once was I offered a scorpion to eat. Even from these fucked up street vendors who sell the deep fried grasshoppers and shit. I've never ever seen a scorpion being eaten in Thailand.
Where do you get the number 4,600? That's a strange number. More than 4,600. That's bizarre.
And the bit that really struck me was, I believe Buddhist meditation is all about peace and relaxation. And I don't know about you, but I would find it fairly difficult to achieve a state of enlightenment with a live scorpion in my mouth.
Yeah. Another thing I'm not happy with is, what's he going to do to atone for all the... Is it cicadas or Is that how
Cicadas. I think it's
they're animals. They, when's he going to start repenting about feeding them to the scorpions?
Very good point. We should see if we can track him down and put that point to him, because I think that pretty much discredits his philosophy.
Yeah.
But do you think the thing that I really needed some expert advice on was, could you be stung so often by a scorpion you become immune to their venom?
I would say yes.
Really?
I know it happens with beekeepers, I believe. I'm sure I've heard that people who keep bees, the stings don't have any effect. So I'm pretty sure that the same can happen with scorpions.
How bad's a scorpion sting on the scale of things? Not as bad as being bitten by a puff adder, is it?
No, I think there's a big range. Some are not that bad, and some are quite nasty. And I also believe the smaller the scorpion, the worse its sting. So the big ones look horrible, but I don't think their sting's as bad. I think it's the little ones that are the worst. I don't know. 4,600, that's a lot. And that 19 foot by 16 foot? I don't know.
6 metres by 5 metres is a fairly big room, I guess, but...
Yeah.
4,600 is a lot of scorpions.
Yeah, and I want to know who counted them.
Yeah.
But I can smell bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, he maybe has a couple of hundred scorpions.
Yeah.
But nearly 5,000 in his house, no.
And isn't it Buddhists that all living creatures? It's everything. They won't stand on ants and things. So
I believe so, yeah.
So, feeding them these live things, no.
So, I'm afraid, Thai Scorpion Man, we feel your story is bullshit.
Yeah.
Next story. Bangalore's Mr. Megabyte. A 26-year-old villager has captured the imagination of his fellow Indians with his unique ability to dehusk a coconut in seconds using just his teeth. Gautam Verma may be short of stature, but his teeth would make even a wolf blush. He has earned himself a world record for tearing the husk off coconuts with the ferocity of a carnivore. It takes him 38 minutes to dehusk 51 of them. If you want to have a crack at that record, I think YouTube awaits.
Yeah.
He comes from a village near Channapatna, an hour away from the southern Indian city of Bangalore, famed for its software industry. He is determined to bite his way onto the global stage, but his teeth are not his only strength. His ears are also prodigiously powerful, capable of towing a small car for 87 metres by means of a string tucked into one of his earlobes. Other feats he has perfected, including lifting a bicycle with his teeth, climbing palm trees up to 40 feet high, and most recently holding 300 straws at a time in his mouth. Those last three things don't seem that impressive to me. I feel I could do all three of those.
Yeah.
My dream is to show my skills all over the world, said Gautam after demonstrating his feats before India's most popular cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. Although born into a farmer's family, Gautam was never keen on tilling the land or grazing cattle. From an early age he wanted to be famous. Gautam said he excelled as a wrestler and judo artist in school and college, but eventually discovered he had more grit in his teeth than his muscles. It was not long before his mother was turning to him every time she wanted coconut paste for her curries. I don't have the money to go around India and the world. That is why I have appealed for funds to the government and private companies. So clearly the nub of this is dehusking 51 coconuts in 31 minutes.
Yeah, I'm picking up on these numbers again. 51?
Yeah.
Why, why 51?
Maybe, and 38 minutes, I mean, you either go for an hour or you stop at 50 or 100.
Yeah, I'm going to do, see how long it takes me to do 50 coconuts. Yeah, or I'm going to see how many I can do in an hour,
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he just started and he had to stop at 51 because his gums were bleeding or something, or so that's when he just happened to stop. Then he just said enough. 51's enough. Maybe he's.
That's when Sachin Tendulkar made him stop.
Yeah, enough. I've had enough.
I've got to go.
I think Sachin Tendulkar should have smashed him in the teeth with a cricket bat. Just, to see how strong his teeth are.
I've never personally dehusked a coconut, so I don't have a real handle on how difficult it is, but when I see people doing it with a machete, it looks quite difficult.
Well, I was actually thinking about it, trying to visualise it. He can't chew through it, he must just grip and tear, I would have thought. Yeah. So it's just like the initial grip and then pull. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see it. I mean, is he on YouTube?
I don't know. We'll have to search for him. Everyone's on YouTube these days. He must be.
Yeah. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's all feasible stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, because and his claims are pretty modest otherwise. I mean, climb up a palm tree for 40 feet high. My 70-year-old mother could do that.
Yeah, it does seem rather strange. But towing a car with his ears by means of a string tucked into one of his earlobes.
I don't know whether that means he has a pierced ear or not.
Yeah.
But, you can get pretty small cars in India. It could be a Tata that weighs about 100 kilos and is made out of recycled cooking oil tins.
I mean, the thing is, your ears aren't that tough, really. I mean, they'll tear, won't they? You can easily tear like an earring, through the flesh. I would have thought you'd have to have some rope taped onto them so the tape covered his whole ears.
Seen Clint Eastwood tear an earring out in Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah.
So,
and 87 metres? 87 metres?
Suspiciously specific amount.
Yeah. Did he just stop then, or is that how long the road was? Or?
Sachin Tendulkar put the handbrake on.
Yeah.
So I tend to believe, because the claims are specific and frankly not that impressive, that this isn't bullshit.
No, I think it's the details of what he's done seem a bit shaky, but yeah, I can certainly believe he exists and he can do some of this stuff. But after we're finished, I should certainly be doing some research on that one. I'm quite interested.
All right, we might do a follow-up on that one. If we can get any YouTube footage, we'll do a link to it off the website.
Yeah, but I'm going to go for vaguely true.
Right. So, final story is Wisconsin contestants bailed out of truck after 55 days. A radio station this week halted a contest in which neither finalist showed signs of backing down after spending nearly 2 months together in a truck. Tommy Kempfer, 26, of Sun Prairie, and Lisa Thompson, 40, of Westfield, were vying to be the last person to win a new $30,000 vehicle. They were allowed 10-minute breaks every 3 hours, and they used the time to eat healthy foods, exercise, and talk to radio listeners. But after 55 days, officials with WMAD-FM Star Country in Madison began to worry the contest would never end. So on Tuesday, the station offered Kempfer and Thompson a compromise, end the contest, and each would receive $10,000 towards the purchase of a car, trips for two to Las Vegas, and $1,000 for a mattress. The pair was given an hour to accept, or the contest would continue with the runner-up receiving nothing. Within 15 minutes, both agreed to the deal. So, I think the facts as presented there don't seem that believable to me. I mean, could you sit in a pickup truck with a complete stranger for 55 days?
I don't know. Has it got a radio in it?
I presume so. But obviously you can't have the engine running for 55 days, and after a while the battery will go flat.
I don't know. You get breaks, don't you?
Yeah, 10 minutes every 3 hours. So, awesome night's sleep. Sat up for 2 hours, 50 minutes.
Strangely enough, that reminds me, remember France?
I certainly do.
And the sunburn episode? Where I had to, was it a couple of nights I had to sleep, sat up in the car, crouched, leaning forward so my back didn't touch anything.
Ah, right. Yeah, you didn't have to get out every 3 hours, and you didn't have a 40-year-old woman farting next to you all night.
No, it just conjured that sitting in a car trying to sleep. It just brought it back to me.
How uncomfortable was it?
It was horrendous. it was just a nightmare. Horrific. I don't know. I really don't know. It's the sort of thing I could see happening. So once you go so far, then you just want to keep going. I don't know.
Yeah, because these contests are pretty common. I remember when I lived in California, a country station there, it's always a fucking country station for some reason, were given away a pickup truck, and I think there was 10 people at the start, so they all stood round the pickup truck and touched it. And the last person to keep touching the pickup truck with the palm of their hand got to keep it, and they lasted about 7 days, which is mental enough, but 55 days inside it is something else altogether.
Well, people go to jail, don't they? And they're sometimes in solitary confinement, and they don't get out at all.
Yeah.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
The other thing is, would you want the pickup truck after you've just spent 55 days in it with a complete stranger? The last thing you'd ever want to do is get back in that fucking truck.
I suppose there wouldn't be a complete stranger for very long, would there?
I suppose not.
You'd have to talk to them quite a lot, so they'd probably know everything about each other by the time they left. I think it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the contest happened, but I think they've possibly been a bit loose with the rules. At 3 o'clock in the morning, who's really going to watch if they both get out and sleep on the floor for 4 hours?
I mean, did these people have jobs?
I don't think many people have a job where you can say, I'm taking 55 days off to sit in a pickup truck to try and win it.
I mean, what's the rate of pay work out?
Well, minimum wage in the US is, I think it's $7.50. So if you worked at McDonald's 8 hours a day for 55 days, you'd probably be pretty close to being able to buy the truck.
Yeah.
Or a truck. Maybe not the brand new one, but...
Yeah. I think it's that old thing you think, I've come this far.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to go the extra mile, and it all gets a bit silly. And if you get two really stubborn people who
have nothing better to
don't
do,
have jobs, yeah. I'm going to say it's true, but
they're both mental.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, if I'd been asked to guess, I would say you could maybe do a week. I would never have imagined in my wildest speculation anybody would do nearly 2 months.
Yeah, it's not something we'll be recreating for the Turbocast. It'd have to be like, was it 5 or 6 or something?
Yeah.
No,
sorry. So we feel it's not bullshit. So that gives us a bullshit to not bullshit score of 3 bullshit, 2 not bullshit.
No, I had 2 bullshit, 3 true.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had it the wrong way around. You're right. So it's time for everybody's favourite part of the show now. It's Dr. Brownhill's Day to Day from years ago for September 20th.
I'm excited.
Let's have it. So, as usual,
I'm opening the diary. I'm opening it.
the diary is open. We start at 1977. So let's
Bef-
see what was on the mind of 10-year-old Dr. Brownhill.
Before I open it, I have to say that it's got to be a bit of an anticlimax, a come down after the last episode.
Oh yeah, if you didn't listen to episode 2, I strongly recommend you go and download it. It's worth it just for the segment
Right.
where
Okay.
Dr. Brownhill burnt his arm by means of friction.
Right, here we go.
Here we go. September 20th, 1977. What day of the week was it? Oh, we don't know that. I'll stop asking eventually.
September. Right, here we go, folks. 1977. Today we had tables, and I got 20 out of 20.
I presume this is multiplication tables.
Yeah, I guess so. Tomorrow is football.
So in the education system today, there's no multiplication tables or football. It's talk about your feelings and learn how to send a text message.
So, not that exciting.
So you wrote in your diary what you were going to do tomorrow?
I would quite often do that.
All right.
I must have got out of sync or something, or not much must have happened.
Right.
So if there was something happening tomorrow, then that's what it was. Right.
1978.
Here we go. Today at chemistry, we did an experiment to do with seawater. I keep wishing that I was an infant again, so I could relive my junior life. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read that again.
Please do.
I keep wishing that I was an infant again, so I could, I'm sure it's relive my junior life.
I mean, talk about fucking depressing. You get to age 11 and think, well, that's it. That's as fucking good as it gets. I wish I was back in junior school.
I don't know, maybe it was the seawater experiment.
You thought, fuck this, I wish I was doing potato painting again.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, there you go. I mean, that's quite special. So let's see if I'm feeling any better in 1979.
I hope so. Maybe you've come to terms with things a little bit better.
I got 20 out of 20, very good, in a German spelling test.
Sehr gut.
Excellent. Excellent. A for homework, and 10 out of 10 for an exercise, and 8 out of 8 excellent for an exercise. The English teacher thought my highwayman story was very good. That's quite positive, isn't it?
You seem to have come to terms with life at comprehensive school, but I'm very impressed with your prowess in German and English.
Well, I did go on to achieve German CSE Grade 1, O-level equivalent.
Fantastic. Does any recollection of the highwayman story survive?
No. I've probably got the exercise book that it's in.
Yeah.
So I might dig that out and, I don't know, maybe read a bit of it next Turbocast. Would anybody like that?
I would absolutely love to hear the highwayman story, and I'll say now that it's my confident prediction that it involves a beheading or a decapitation.
Quite possibly, but I'll see if I can dig the exercise book out, and obviously we've got the date to go from.
Yeah.
So it's
it shouldn't be impossible to find it if you've got the exercise book.
Yeah, so I'll have a look. That's something else that I'll do after this. Right. On to 1980. I watched The Hammer House of Horror. It was crap. Kenny goes out with Tracy. Kenny's TV. Oh dear.
It's like you're deciphering the fucking Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, the writing's gets worse. Kenny's TV is... Oh, TV video is knackered.
Ah.
He does not yet know. I'm a load of homework for tomorrow. Ugh.
The scholastic enthusiasm of a few years before seems to have evaporated.
It's terrible. There's crossings out and mistakes, and it's dreadful.
The only thing I remember about Kenny was him having a bare wire plugged into the mains and trying to touch us with it. That's my sole surviving Kenny memory.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. I've recently hooked back up with him on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. So
Where is he? What's he doing?
he's in the town.
All right.
So yeah.
But I remember, apart from the electric wire, he had like somewhat of a predilection for anything involving fire and petrol as well. That's coming back to me now.
Oh yeah, he loved a good fire. He was also egg butties, egg sarnies. Oh, he made a good egg sarnie, and he was an artist with the frying pan. It was something to behold.
I mean, we didn't realise at the time, but what Kenny was doing with his electric cables and petrol and was performance art.
Yeah,
we just didn't know it as such.
I could actually spend quite a lot of time talking about Kenny and the things that we did. I can remember he had a little dog called Kim, and we used to take it round and try and find bitches on heat, and we would try and get him to do his business.
Oh yeah,
because he was a randy little sod. I think
this Kim's conduct later informed your bedroom technique in later years.
I can't possibly comment. Another thing that he did was we like to mess about with phones and speakers and things like that, and I think he put like a remote speaker with a microphone in another room, and he told his niece that Santa wanted to speak to her, and she went and sat in the room by herself, and he pretended to be Santa speaking to her and asking her what she wanted for Christmas, and she really believed it was Santa speaking to her.
That's fantastic. If only of those powers could have been harnessed for good.
Yeah, we also, another great thing that we did was we once we hooked the phone up to this microphone so we could speak, and we pretended to be local radio DJs. We'd ring somebody up at random, and we once we got this nice lady on the phone, and we said we just picked her number at random, and she'd been entered in a competition. If she could answer one simple question, she would win £1,000. And then we'd ask her a really simple question, which she'd get right, and then we'd go crazy and say, "Congratulations, you've won £1,000," and take her details. And
That was it.
it wasn't my idea; it was Kenny's idea.
So that was really the pre-invention of the podcast.
Yeah. There are other things as well, but
Well, I'm sure as the diary pages roll by, we'll encounter Mr. Kenny again.
Yes, undoubtedly.
So was that 5 entries, or do we have a year left?
No, we've got 1981, and here it is. Prince Charming is number one on Tees and Radio 1, but not Luxembourg. I got up at 1:05. I had plenty of energy. I did most of my homework. We got 2 rocking chairs off Eileen or Irene. Our dipstick, I think that's what I used to call Lucy, our dipstick having a party this Saturday. I am going to... I think this might be lost forever, this bit.
Oh. Was it referring to your intended conduct at the party?
It actually says, blah, 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 party this Saturday. I'm going to something out.
I think that's going to be lost forever in the mists of time.
I'm going to... It's something out. Yeah.
It's interesting you drew the distinction between the different charts for Prince Charming.
Yeah, I used to be really into listening to the charts. I mean, in the olden days, it was a big thing. Listen to the charts on a Sunday, and I would quite often record them on a cassette tape.
Yeah, because I think for a while in the 80s we had the official charts on the BBC and then the network charts on independent radio. Is that what they're called, the network charts?
I don't know.
Yeah, and there was always a fierce battle for radio ratings between the two on a Sunday night. Interesting, another awesome selection of diary entries.
I'm staring at these letters here. I'm going to something. If I work it out, I'll do an update next time.
All right, thank you.
I'm
very
so
much.
tempted to look at the other pages, but the diary is closed.
Right,
till
stay
next time.
strong. It's closed till the next episode.
Yeah.
So it's time to take a look in the turbo sack. We've had a lot of mail this week, and I don't think we're going to get to it all, but we've got, I think, 4 good ones for us to work on. The first one is from Waghorn, the long-time friend of the Turbocast, who wants to know our feelings on the possibility of Jacko's death being hoaxed. So, and he includes a YouTube clip of Jacko getting out of the coroner's van, apparently under his own steam.
That's interesting.
But I've got to say that there's literally nothing Michael Jackson could do that would surprise me. So if he popped up tomorrow and was still alive, I'd be like,
yeah,
fuck it, so what?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen a YouTube clip of his ghost, so, how does that work?
Where was his ghost?
I don't know, he's just doing that moonwalking thing in this corridor. That's, normally get ghosts in corridors, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know where it was, but so I don't know how that fits in with your theory about him being alive.
Well, I mean, there's certain things about his death that don't add up. I mean, he's supposed to be getting knocked out by an anaesthetist using this propanol stuff, which is what they use to put people in comas in emergency rooms when they've had massive trauma in a car accident. But he's like an 8-stone bag of bones. You could probably knock him out with Lemsip.
Yeah. I mean, what I thought about was the amount of operations that you must have had. I mean, you can't do any of this plastic surgery stuff with local anaesthetics. You have to get general anaesthetics, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And he must have had many, many of those, and that puts a huge strain on your body. And like you say, he's 6-stone ring and wet. I could see him having a heart attack. It's, I don't know. But you'd say, if anyone was going to try and pull a stunt like that,
it's Jacko.
It's Jacko, but he could, like you say, strain on his body, and he's He's died. He was 50, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. So I think the Turbocast consensus is we don't believe the death was hoaxed, but were that to be the case, we wouldn't be falling out of our chairs with surprise.
Yeah.
So we have some more communication through Facebook from Stephen, long-time friend of the Turbocast, and he actually had a double-part email, and I think we're going to do the first part and leave the second part for episode 4. So he'd like Dr. Brownell to reveal the worst ever drink-related injuries either inflicted or suffered.
Yeah, a particular favourite of mine. I do remember when I used to go out regularly, and I'd have quite a lot to drink. I'd get a little bit boisterous, all good-natured stuff.
Oh, yeah, harmless
a bit
fun.
Of rough and tumble, you know.
Yeah, good, fair, manly jokes.
Yeah, lifting people up and, bear hugs and what have you. And I do remember one time. I think it may have been out on the Thursday night, which was pound a pint at the Gemini night, which really helped, with the gyro and everything. And that had quite a lot to drink, and I can remember that when I had a good scoop, I would quite often not remember what I'd done on the night. It sort of faded out.
Yeah.
And I'd still be like okay, and I could walk and get home. But I think it was the Saturday, a couple of days later. I've just remembered another one while I'm saying this. I turned up in the Park Hotel, and one of the regulars, Mr. Rowley, he had a sling on,
on his arm.
Yeah, a sling, and I went and I said, "Fucking hell, mate, what's happened to you?" And he said, "Oh, you did it." He said, I think he said you've broken my collarbone. Somebody might correct me on that, or but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
But nobody knows what you did to break his collarbone.
Well, he probably does, but I can't remember the details. But I do remember going in and I'm sure he had a sling on.
Yeah.
And he said, you did it. So that was interesting. And obviously I apologised and I bought him a pint. And everything was all right.
I remember you nursing some chipped teeth after a night of opening beer bottles with your teeth, and you were sort of slumped in the corner of the room the next morning with your hands round your jaws saying, "My beautiful teeth, my beautiful teeth."
Yeah, I did. I used to do that quite often. Take the tops off brown ale bottles with my teeth. Very, very clever thing to do. I don't do it anymore.
So what's the worst injury you've inflicted upon yourself?
I'm trying to think, actually. I can't think of anything. I mean, it'd probably be something internal, just...
Yeah, you're always a bit more of a collateral damage specialist on other people.
Yeah. Obviously, I've had some spectacular hangovers.
Yeah, I think that's another discussion.
Yeah, walking up covered in sick, that sort of thing. But there was another one, an unfortunate incident where somebody else sustained some injuries. Do you remember me talking about Homer?
No.
Who worked in with Jace the Bass in the car parts?
Oh, vaguely. Yeah.
He looked like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
We'd been for a night out. I can't remember. I think it was near Christmas, and we'd been somewhere near Church Street. It was some sort of do. I can't remember the details, but for some reason, Homer came back to my flat I was going to show him something on the computer. I remember that. I thought, he said, "Oh, come back to my place and I'll show you."
It was probably the first Prince of Persia.
Quite possibly. So I can remember being there, and at this do, there'd been a raffle, and I'd won a bottle of Glenfiddich whiskey. So obviously we'd had a good scoop, and so we cracked the bottle up. We all having swigs out of this, and obviously we were completely hammered. Anyway, I think he collapsed, and this was when I was in my flat above the shop.
Yeah, I remember it very well.
So he collapsed, and I was all right, but I thought he doesn't want to stay. I've got to get him home. I don't want him, staying here. So I got hold of his foot and took him downstairs. I got hold of his leg and just started walking. So he's like, obviously his head was bouncing off the steps and what have you.
For the benefit of the listeners, this was a first floor flat above a butcher's, I think.
No, the butcher's was the next one. It was it was all sorts of different things. It was never any one thing. But it had a very narrow and steep wooden staircase that led down to the front door. So anyway, I'd obviously rang a taxi, chucked him in the back of the taxi. Taxi driven off. I'd gone to bed. Everything's sweet.
Yeah.
I think when the taxi driver turned round and saw this like comatose figure in the back of his car with blood on its face, I think he drove straight to the hospital. So they took him to the hospital, and I think the story was when he finally came to, he thought the medical staff had stolen his shoes, and he was ranting, "Where's me fucking shoes? Give me fucking shoes!" And I think his shoes were on my stairs. and then he went home. And I think...
So, I mean, you're lucky not to get the old bill involved there, because the taxi driver could easily have assumed you beaten the shit out of him.
I thought everything, because obviously I'd been drinking this Glenfiddich, so I just didn't, realise what was going on fully. And so I can remember I went into Partco the day after, and I didn't know anything about this. I just thought he'd gone home, everything's fine, And Jason, his friend, he said, "What the fucking hell did you do to Homer?" I said, "Eh?" I said, I bloody put him in a taxi, put him home. And then he told me, he said, "Oh, they took him straight to hospital." But next time I saw him when we were out, I bought him a pint and everything was all right.
Oh, and I presume we've now lost contact with Homer.
I still see him about. I think he's still about. I haven't seen him for a while, to be honest, but then I don't get out much these days.
I mean, we were in our early 20s at this point, and now we're in our 40s. He must look even more like fucking Homer.
Well...
I would say you're a bit older.
No, he was about the same age, and it was his face. He was skinny. He was just like a skinny Homer. So it was, if he has put weight on, yeah, he will be Homer. So, yeah.
So that absolutely excellent Turbo Sack contributions there. And we have one final letter, and we've gone over the hour here, so we may have to try and get through it quickly. And it's from Mr. Bertram Weed, who wants to know what is the exact medical definition of shitting yourself.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
I have my own thoughts on this, but do you want me to give you my definition, or do you want to do yours?
Well, I can see where he's coming from, because, I mean, we've all, done wet farts. So it's a very interesting question. If it doesn't, touch the cloth, is it or isn't it? So, yeah, give us your take on it.
Well, I think to be a good definition, it has to exclude skid marks. So, for me, the definition is it has to be fully formed shit in your kecks of, I would say, greater than 1 centimetre diameter. I think any less than that, it's just going to deform into an extremely thick skid mark.
Yeah, so I mean, if you've got like a pellet in there,
Yeah.
but it's like lodged in between your cheeks, you know, I mean, if somebody pulled your kecks down, you know,
Yeah,
everything
shit
would
yourself.
look, you know, ship shape, you know, and Bristol fashion. So, you know, would they say, oh, you've shit yourself? I suppose if they like opened your cheeks and saw the, you know, the Malteser,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. But yeah, I think you've got to, yeah, because I mean, when you do a wet fart, you're not. It's going to be paste anyway. You're not necessarily going to get a solid, you know.
Yeah, so I think there has to be a dimension in there.
Yeah.
Because for the definition has to exclude skid marks and winnets, and a size qualification is the only way you can do that.
So you're saying that it's a quantity thing, irrespective
Yeah.
of whether it's solid or liquid, or
Well, I
in
think it has to
between.
be. Well, again, you've possibly found the weak link in my definition there, because you could have absolutely horrendous diarrhea with your trousers on, and then there is no doubt that you've shit yourself.
Yeah.
But it could fail my dimension test.
Well, like I say, it has to be a quantity thing rather than
Yeah.
you know, if it's not a solid, it's a
Maybe it's a volume.
yeah, a volume thing. Yeah,
It's
like you say, a centimeter cube or something.
one cubic centimetre, which isn't that much, but I still feel that's shitting yourself.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd put my name to that. So yeah,
So there you go, Mr. Weed. The exact Turbocast official definition of shitting yourself is the passing of more than 1 cubic centimetre of fecal matter into your garments.
yeah.
I think you have to be wearing something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you stood naked and you do it, you're having a shit standing up. You're not shitting yourself, are you?
I can remember once when I was a kid, when I wore pajamas. I once, like, I must have shit myself and I didn't know I'd done it. And it was only when, like, a little pebble rolled out the bottom of my pajamas onto the floor. And I thought, what's that? And I picked it up and it was shit. You know. I don't know whether it may have been smaller than a cubic centimetre.
But you had shit yourself.
Well, yeah.
Interesting. So I think that's as good a definition as we're going to get, Mr. Weed. So I feel that's the Turbocast official answer. If anybody has any thoughts on that, please let us know. And I think that brings us to the end of the Turbocast this week. Please remember to send your questions and comments to turbosack@live.co.uk. Remember to dig the Turbocast and please leave us a review on iTunes. If I keep saying it, I'm sure somebody will do it eventually. As usual, Dr. Brown Ale is going to play us out with a track. I presume it's about a young lady, Doctor.
Oh, indeed it is.
And what's the title of this one?
This is called Charlotte Ann.
Thank you very much, Doctor, and see you next episode.
Goodbye.